Why hello, insert name here. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know that the comments from my last video are kind of overwhelming. Most people are suggesting their own name and it's kind of hard to pick one, you know what I mean? So what I did was I went onto my website and I created a poll. I put the top choices in the poll and you can go to my website and vote. I'll put a link down in the description. You guys head over to my website. The bottom right hand corner of the screen is where the poll's gonna be. Just pick your favorite and I'll let it run for about 2 more weeks. And we'll choose something at the end of the 2 weeks. And also, before I go any further, this comment was left on my last video too. And I guess that makes sense. So JPK for me and Tio, I'm going to be talking directly to you in this video, just so you know that I'm talking directly to JPK for me and Tio. Before I started making this video, I asked for questions on Facebook and Twitter, things that you might want me to talk about in this show. I only got one, so that'll be easy. What all can an iPad do? And can you use it as a phone? Well, Janice, I hate to toot my own horn here, but I am technologically inclined a little bit. I think I'll try to help you out. Oh wait, I'm still broke. I couldn't afford an iPad, so I'll just tell you what I know. You could use an iPad to browse the web, check email, read iBooks, view photos, listen to music, watch movies. You can also download tons of apps from the Apple Store, including the YouTube app, which would be pretty handy if you wanted to, I don't know, keep up with somebody. You can also use the iPad to look at interactive maps, but it don't really have GPS functionality, so you're kind of limited on what you can do with the maps. And it comes with a productivity suite, so you can manage your contacts, your calendar, and it even comes with iWork, so you can create documents. So bottom line, what is an iPad good for? The internet and stuff. It may be impressing your friends, because I have a friend that has one and I was impressed. And from what I understand, it can be used as a phone, but it's kind of limited. Let me explain. With the help of certain apps like TruePhone, Skype, Google Talk, you can make calls. Now, some of the applications are limited where they can only call from one device to another device, but not to a landline or mobile phone. The ones that will allow you to call a landline or a mobile phone, I'm pretty sure charge you some kind of fee to do that. And I think the duration of the calls are also limited too. But I'm not really sure because I don't have an iPad. But I hope that helps you. Alright, well let's talk about some stuff. So I read that there's an auction going on for the items from the Apollo 11 missions to the moon. You can get all kinds of stuff, like freeze-dried pot roast. You mean I can get my very own bag of freeze-dried space pot roast crap? You can even get an actual headset used during the Apollo 11 moon landing. This is Houston. Make sure you take care of that headset. We're gonna want it to auction off later. I'm sure that stuff's going to be ridiculously expensive, and as cool as it is, I think I'm going to have to forego this auction and not bid on it. Something unique I read about today, a college student paid $14,309.51 worth of tuition entirely in $1 bills. Oh, that's not true. It's not true at all. You can't pay 51 cents in dollar bills. Okay, so he paid most of it in dollar bills, and he might have had to put 2 quarters and a penny down. Don't worry, those are the right coins. He says he did this to protest the rising cost of education. I think the funniest part of the story is they said he walked in with a duffel bag that weighed approximately 30 pounds, just sat it down on the counter and said, I'm here to pay my tuition. I'm sure he had that accent and everything. I'm here to pay my tuition. I'm sure the people that took the money probably were thinking to themselves, okay, this guy's either crazy or he must have just robbed a bank and then come straight in here. But either which way, it did get the guy into the news, and so maybe he is spreading the message that college is expensive. That's why I didn't go. Part of my savings plan. I also read today about a pigeon that was being used like a carrier pigeon to try to smuggle drugs into a prison in Colombia. The bird apparently crash-landed somewhere outside the prison, and when people tried to help it, they realized it was carrying 1.4 ounces of marijuana and 0.2 ounces of cocaine. That's pretty bad. The poor bird was having a hard time flying because they had it so loaded down. But what I want to know is what mastermind came up with this. I want to try to use a carrier pigeon to get the drugs inside of the prison. It's a good idea. Nobody uses carrier pigeons anymore. Nobody thinks to check the birds. And the biggest question in my mind is, what was the bird gonna do when it got to the prison? Was it gonna like peck its way through the wall, or I mean, it's not like they just have open windows everywhere in prisons. I don't guess. I mean, I've never been to prison. Maybe it was just gonna fly over the fence and land on the guy's hand while he was outside busting rocks in the yard. But speaking of prison, there's another story about a guy that threatened his wife and got sent to prison. While he was in prison, he was sent to like a medical ward to be evaluated. They wanted to check his mental stability because they were afraid the guy was going off his rocker. While he was being evaluated, he was put into a special hold cell where He says he got bit by a rat. He said he got bit on his hand and also on his man area. He didn't sustain any life-threatening injury or contract any kind of disease or even have to have stitches, but he did decide that he wanted to sue the prison. But I got a couple questions for this guy. How did a rat bite your man area? Why weren't you wearing pants? Maybe he started off wearing pants and then took them off when he saw the rat. He was all like, hey. How you doing? I've heard prison's a lonely place. That's all I've got for you today. If you would please go to my website down to the bottom right hand corner, find the poll and vote on a name. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks a million for watching, and guys, now you know because you heard it from somebody.